541. The test of love is death. Our Lord so loved, it saith, what largest lover hath, another doth. If smaller patience be, through less infinity, if bravo sometimes swerve, through fainter nerve, accept its most, and overlook the dust, last, least, the cross's request. 542. For largest woman's heart I knew, 'tis little I can do, and yet the largest woman's heart can hold an arrow too, and so, instructed by my own, I tenderer turn me to. 543. Unit like death, for whom? True, like the tomb, who tells no secret, told to him. The grave is strict, tickets admit just two, the bearer and the born, and seat just one. The living tell, the dying but a syllable, the coy dead none. No chatter here, no tea, so babbler and bohea stay there, but gravity and expectation and fear, a tremor just, that all's not sure. 544. Heaven has different signs to me. Sometimes I think that noon is but a symbol of the place, and when again at dawn, a mighty look runs round the world and settles in the hills, and awe, if it should be like that, upon the ignorance steals. The orchard when the sun is on, the triumph of the birds, when they together victory make, some carnivals of clouds. The rapture of a finished day, returning to the west, all these remind us of the place that men call paradise. Itself be fairer, we suppose, but how ourself shall be, adorned for a superior grace, not yet our eyes can see. 545. They dropped like flakes, they dropped like stars, like petals from a rose, when suddenly across the June a wind with fingers goes. They perished in the seamless grass, no eye could find the place, but God can summon every face on his repealless list. 546. I prayed at first a little girl, because they told me to, but stopped when qualified to guess how prayer would feel to me. If I believed God looked around, each time my childish eye fixed full and steady on his own in childish honesty, and told him what I'd like today, and parts of his far plan, that baffled me the mingled side of his divinity. And often since in danger, I count the force 'twould be to have a God so strong as that to hold my life for me, till I could take the balance that tips so frequent now. It takes me all the while to poise, and then it doesn't stay. 547. There's been a death in the opposite house, as lately as today. I know it by the numb look such houses have alway. The neighbors rustle in and out, the doctor drives away. A window opens like a pod, abrupt, mechanically. Somebody flings a mattress out. The children hurry by. They wonder if it died on that I used to when a boy. The minister goes stiffly in, as if the house were his, and he owned all the mourners now, and little boys besides. And then the milliner and the man of the appalling trade, to take the measure of the house. There'll be that dark parade of tassels and of coaches soon. It's easy as a sign. The intuition of the news in just a country town. 548. The blackberry wears a thorn in his side, but no man heard him cry. He offers his berry just the same to partridge and to boy. He sometimes holds upon the fence, or struggles to a tree, or clasps a rock with both his hands, but not for sympathy. We tell a hurt to cool it, this mourner to the sky. A little further reaches instead, brave blackberry. 549. The one that could repeat the summer day were greater than itself, though he, minutest of mankind, should be. And he could reproduce the sun at period of going down, the lingering and the stain, I mean. When Orient have been outgrown, and Occident become unknown, his name remain. 550. I measure every grief I meet with narrow probing eyes. I wonder if it weighs like mine, or has an easier size. I wonder if they bore it long, or did it just begin. I could not tell the date of mine, it feels so old a pain. I wonder if it hurts to live, and if they have to try, and whether, could they choose between, it would not be to die. I note that some, gone patient long, at length renew their smile, in imitation of a light that has so little oil. I wonder if when years have piled some thousands on the harm that hurt them early, such a lapse could give them any balm, or would they go on aching still through centuries of nerve, enlightened to a larger pain in contrast with the love. The grieved are many, I am told. There is the various cause. Death is but one, and comes but once, and only nails the eyes. There's grief of want, and grief of cold, a sort they call despair. There's banishment from native eyes in sight of native air. And though I may not guess the kind correctly, yet to me a piercing comfort it affords in passing Calvary, to note the fashions of the cross and how they're mostly worn, still fascinated to presume that some are like my own. 551. Conjecturing a climate of unsuspended suns adds poignancy to winter, the shivering fancy turns to a fictitious country to palliate a cold, not obviated of degree or eased of latitude. 552. There is a languor of the life more imminent than pain. 'Tis pain's successor when the soul has suffered all it can. A drowsiness diffuses, a dimness like a fog envelops consciousness as mists obliterate a crag. The surgeon does not blench at pain, his habit is severe, but tell him that it ceased to feel the creature lying there, and he will tell you skill is late, a mightier than he has ministered before him, there's no vitality. 553. When diamonds are a legend, and diadems a tale, I brooch and earrings for myself do so and raise for sale. And though I'm scarce accounted, my art a summer day had patrons, once it was a queen, and once a butterfly. 554. I had not minded walls, were universe one rock, and far I heard his silver call the other side the block. I'd tunnel till my groove pushed sudden through to his, then my face take her recompense the looking in his eyes. But 'tis a single hair, a filament, a law, a cobweb wove in adamant, a battlement of straw, a limit like the veil unto the lady's face, but every mesh a citadel, and dragons in the crease. 555. A house upon the height, that wagon never reached, no dead were ever carried down, no peddler's cart approached, whose chimney never smoked, whose windows, night and morn, caught sunrise first and sunset last, then held an empty pane, whose fate conjecture knew, no other neighbor did, and what it was we never lisped, because he never told.